Welcome to Demystify Magic with Molly and Madison.
I'm Molly, a former skeptic turned full-time energy healer and teacher.
And I'm Madison, a born and raised witch running my family's crystal shop.
And we're here to explore all things woo through the lens of both science and spirituality so that you can find the moments of magic in your everyday life and create an intentional spiritual practice.
So if that's what you're into, find a cozy spot, take a deep breath, and let's demystify some magic.
Is it me?
It's an even episode.
Howdy doody, friends.
Jesus Christmas, howdy doody.
Strong start.
Really
strong start.
Really strong start. We have a whole method that we've created so that we know who opens the episode, and ask me how many times we listen to it or pay attention to it.
One thing about me, I don't know what number episode this is, but can you believe it? We are at episode 128 of this podcast.
And on our final episode of our Mundane Magic series.
And we still haven't gotten our shit together. And you know what? I think that's okay.
I don't know that we ever will.
It keeps us relatable.
Right? We like to stay humble. We stay close to our roots, which means we get it.
Oh.
Because we're talking about the yard today.
Outside. We're getting outside the house. We're stepping over the threshold and out the door and through the woods we go. Not into the woods. I'm not going into the woods.
No. If you've learned one thing through this podcast, it's that the outside is not really agreeing with Molly these days.
Yeah. But we are going to talk about like outside the house, leaving the house, dipping your toe into exiting the house, whether that's cleaning up your yard, your garage, your car, or just leaving the house, period. How you can add a little bit of magic to motivate yourself to do any of those things.
And sometimes leaving the house, that's the most I can do.
Genuinely, I remember when I was outlining this chapter of the book and I asked folks like, what is the chore outside the house that is the biggest struggle for you? And that was the number one that people asked for, was like just like leaving the house.
Just getting up and going somewhere.
So there's literally a meditation in the book for leaving the house, period.
Love it.
Speaking of books,
this series is all about one. If you are interested in Mundane Magic, I have a great news for you. It's coming out February 17th. February 17th, 2026. It would be really tough for you on February 16th if I'd gotten that wrong. You'd be like, where the fuck's my book? And if you would like to pre-order it, you can find the link in the description of this episode. You can get it from anywhere books are sold. I would really love it if you ordered it from Spellcrafter or the Healing Hedge Witch, because if you do that, one, you're supporting my family small business. Love that. Very kind of you. But two, you get access to a virtual book tour event with Molly, where I will be asking her all the hard-hitting questions. We're going to get to the root of it here. We're going to dive deep. I don't know what those hard-hitting questions are going to be yet, because they're going to be your questions. But I have a feeling it's going to be a really good time.
I can't wait. Before we dive in the episode, Madison, what was your magic moment of the week?
My magic moment is that I ran a 5K yesterday.
Yay!
Which wouldn't be, if you're listening to this being like, aren't you training for a half marathon that's in like 6 weeks? Why is that your magic moment? I've talked about it a little bit on the podcast that I have PCOS.
I'm not laughing at you.
No, it's okay.
I just want to make
it's
that
okay.
so clear.
It's really funny when you think about it, when you're not living in it.
This is the first time I realized it's 6 weeks away, and I had a momentary panic. So that laughter was not a humorous laughter. That was a, oh, fuck laughter.
Yeah. I've talked about my PCOS a little bit on here, and what's so funny about being a person who loves to run and also has PCOS is that I truly would not have ever known that I had PCOS if I had not started training for this half marathon. And I started having this really intense pain that I've learned gets worse when I have a lack of sleep, and it gets worse when it's hot outside. And when you think about that, and also remember that I brought a puppy home in the heat of summer in Florida, have been getting no sleep. I have not run in the last 6 weeks. I've just been in a lot of pain, is the truth. I'm just realizing that like maybe what I am dealing with right now is not super conducive to race training, and I can be a person who enjoys running casually, and I can have fun doing this half marathon. And there was a minute where I was like, I don't know that I'm going to be able to do this. And I was really sad about it because it's really important to me. And finally, things have been cooling down just ever so slightly that like there's a couple hours in the morning that things are okay. And the puppy is sleeping through the night. And I just went out yesterday and said, however far I go, that's good enough. I'd love to do 3 miles, 3 laps around this park that I really like. And I did it. And it was hard, but not so hard that I was discouraged. And I also really got real with myself and said, if I walked this half marathon with you, I would not be upset.
Yeah, I think I said to you, if we just skipped the half marathon and sat on your couch and ate food and watched TV, I'd also not be upset. So I'm in solidarity with whatever Madison wants to do. I'm here to support. I'm just the really emotional support, Molly.
I really appreciate it. It's been like quite the dramatic journey since we decided to do this.
Mm-hmm.
It's so wild. Like, I had a complicated relationship with fitness growing up, as I'm sure like a lot of people do. You know, like running was the first time that I feel like I got to a place where exercise was no longer a punishment and it was genuinely something that I like looked forward to. And so then to have it like not feel good.
To punish you.
Yeah, like have it punish me back. It was like so frustrating. And so to be able to do it and also to not be angry at myself when I had to walk, like that was what was hard more than anything is like TMI about my cycle, I guess, is that like 2 weeks out of the month I feel great running, and then 2 weeks out of the month I feel like shit and I have the pain. And more than anything is it's like it just makes those other 2 weeks where you feel good be discouraging because you're like making up progress. But now I don't know, I just feel like I'm in a good place, and that's my magic moment.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Me too. What's your magic moment?
My magic moment is I hired my first employee in my business. We've talked about her on the pod before, but one of my graduates, Jade, has been working kind of behind the scenes in my business for the last year and a half. She has been helping out with our graduate community and helping with a lot of like administrative stuff for the training program, which has just grown tremendously since I brought her on. And Jade is just like, she's literally the glue. Like I refer to her as the glue.
We love Jade. In this house,
we love Jade.
We love Jade.
We love Jade. Like I feel like I need one of those 7-day candles, you know, that has like the Holy Mary, but it's like Britney Spears. I need that, but Jade, you know, and just like celebrate her constantly because she's incredible. Everyone loves her. She just has the biggest heart. This is a Jade appreciation podcast. One thing about us, it was also her birthday yesterday. So
happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Jade. But she is now working full time in my business, which was equal parts exciting and like so well deserved for her, but also like terrifying for me because I was like writing an employee handbook and I was like, how much PTO do we get? And I was like, how do people decide that? Like, how do people decide?
Yeah.
So I just gave her unlimited and I was like, fuck it.
Great.
Like, do your work. I don't care.
Yeah, whatever you need.
Whatever Jade needs, Jade gets. That's the motto in my business. Jade stays in her magic, I stay in my magic, and we just work really well together. And so I'm really excited. Our community has just like grown tremendously and we have lots of things on the horizon that we're going to be creating in collaboration with this book and in collaboration with our graduates. And I'm just really excited to have someone who I trust with every fiber of my being to be like working alongside me. And
Yay.
So, yeah, I feel like, you know, when you buy your first appliance and you're like, wow, I feel like a real adult now. I had to like spend money on a thing that I like need.
Yeah.
And I'm like comparing models and stuff. That's how I feel now. I feel like I'm a real business owner. I'm like, yeah, I have an employee. I had to like find out how to hire someone in Canada. Like the tax implications of that. Like,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
There's layers to this.
Only for Jade.
Only for Jade.
Genuinely, only for Jade. So Jade, we love you. This podcast probably would not exist without Jade because I would be running around like a chicken with its tail on fire and its head cut off and like its toes glued together if it weren't for Jade. So everyone say we love you, Jade.
We love you, Jade.
We love you, Jade.
I love when I get to see you when Molly and I run over in our meeting and you hop in the Zoom because this is also the link that you use. I'm really grateful for that time we get to spend together, and I apologize for intruding on your space.
One thing about Jade, she's always going to log into a meeting like 20 minutes early. And so, yeah, that does happen more often than not. So enough about Jade. Let's talk about the yard / outside the house. This is your sacred boundary. I like to think of whatever you have outside your house, like that first layer of protection is like your moat, whether that is your front porch, your steps, your front of your door, your yard, your driveway, whatever it is, whatever it looks like, even if you're in an apartment building, like the hallway outside your house. So that's kind of like the space we're talking about. And then moving beyond that space, whatever spaces you own outside of your home. So whether you have a car or maybe it's just like your physical being leaving your space. That's what we're talking about here. And our mantra is, I am rooted, protected, and in harmony with the world around me.
Love that.
Love that. Okay, our planetary correspondence is Mars, because Mars is traditionally tied to protection, defense, energetic boundaries. And think about whatever is outside your home. This is like your first line of defense. This is like your energetic field, your energetic barrier. Again, whether that is a hallway of an apartment, a stoop, entryway, a front porch, a yard, a fence, garden, whatever the case may be, that is your barrier. I also like Mars because it's also connected with like effort. And when I think about like the yard and outdoor care, I think about like physical exertion, raking, shoveling, planting, mowing. Up here, we salt our driveways, we snow blow, all of those things. And so really using the element of Mars to help empower you as you like step beyond the threshold of your home, but also as you tend for that space.
Yeah, I love that association. Immediately when you said Mars, I was like, oh, I think of like the more offensive energy of Mars, but I like the like calling on the defensive energy as well.
Yeah. Well, I feel like sometimes it's an offensive energy too. Like if I know I'm going to have to go brave traffic, or we've talked about, have we talked about yet Water and Batteries Day?
Yes, we've talked about Water and Batteries Day.
But do the listeners know we talked about Water and Batteries Day?
Yeah.
No, I think we talked about that on the video pod.
No, I think we talked about that last week.
Did we?
I thought so. Someone will surely let us know.
Anyways, Braving Water and Batteries Day. Maybe you know what that is. Maybe you don't. I just keep thinking about that comment where someone was like, this episode was a mess.
I know. God. And you know what? This one's for you.
This one's for you. We love you. But yeah, I'm going to tie it to the element of earth. I feel like that is the only one I could think of because we're literally outside.
Yeah. I think if you said anything else, we were going to have a discussion about it.
I know. The best part is I feel like every episode we've been like earth, root, earth, root. But I feel like the home is root, the home is root, the home is earth.
Yeah. I mean, like there are obviously areas of the house that are connected to different things, but I think that root energy is like everywhere in the home.
Yeah. Totes my goats. Chakra is going to be root. I'm going to say it. I'm going to put it out there. We always say start with your root, start with your home.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
I did talk to someone over the weekend who was feeling like a little bit overwhelmed, not by this series, but just like not knowing where to start in kind of like their home. And so I wanted to give just like a general, if you feel overwhelmed, if you feel like everywhere needs your attention, here's where you start. And this is not just me like talking out of my ass. This is based on the DMs that I receive every single day about this. So we're going to leave a link in the description of this episode to my Mundane Magic meditations. They're free to download. There's 3 of them in there. There's a 5-minute clutter crushing charm. That is where you should start. That's where I'm going to recommend you start because it really is going to help you see an immediate difference in your space, but also feel an immediate difference in your space. For a lot of people, they have said that the clutter crushing charm has not only changed the way that they perceive the energy in their space, but also is like what brings the momentum to do the rest of their space. And then the other 2 meditations are for washing dishes and laundry. So in about a half an hour, you could do all 3 of them and get, your spaces in relative working order. So that is where I would recommend starting. All right, we've got 3 crystals for you. I'm excited about these crystals because I think they're really cool combined together. So obsidian for protection and boundary setting, moss agate for connection to the land and growth. This is my favorite for any kind of gardening. Any kind of gardening, moss agate.
Oh, yeah.
And then citrine to connect with that outward energy, that yang energy, that sun energy, vitality, and like finding joy outdoors.
Yeah, I think moss agate and citrine is like, I see it very similarly to like sunstone, moonstone, where sunstone, moonstone, sun and moon, and then citrine, moss agate is like earth and sun, like those kind of compatible energies.
Totally. And then I like obsidian too, because I think of obsidian as like below the crust of the earth. Like it's a very shadow energy, very like embodying the shadow. So it feels like all 3 layers of earth, like the sun, the grassy, rooty, dirty energy, dirt-y, not dirty, dirt-y energy.
I know what you mean.
And then into the earth is like more obsidian.
Yeah, I get that. Totally.
Love that. Because what is obsidian? Like, it's lava that's been dried, right? Yeah.
Cooled, I think, rather than dried.
My brain's not
lava.
working today. Dried lava.
You know
dried lava.
You know what? You knew what she meant.
Yeah. So it's embodying, almost all of the elements. I feel like, do we need a water?
I'm trying to think of what that would be for me, like what I would include.
Yeah. Aquamarine doesn't feel right.
Maybe like a blue apatite.
I was going to say blue apatite.
Wow.
Shut the fuck up. I was going to say blue apatite. I literally was on the tip of my tongue.
Wow. We're so
okay,
connected.
we're throwing that in. Look
there
at
we
us.
go.
Oh, that's cute. Now you've got all 4 elements.
I was thinking a lot, like through this whole series, how I was going to connect with the spirit of the house through the outside. And I think that it's definitely a space where you still can, but I would maybe shift the perspective, and I would say this is a great place to connect with the spirit of the land that you live on.
Love that.
And so this is like a great time to leave offerings to the spirit of the land. This is something that I do. We've talked about it through hurricane season. Water, wine, whiskey, anything that I can kind of like pour under a tree, say thank you for protecting me. Please continue to do so.
Yeah. I also love like finding out the native tribes that owned the land.
Yes.
Own the land that you live on, and like doing something in benefit of them, like some sort of tangible benefit, whether it's, donating money, donating time, researching them, understanding their culture. And I think like doing some kind of land acknowledgement, both spiritually, but also in the physical, tangible sense, can be really powerful as well.
For sure. Yes. That's an amazing way to connect with the spirit of the land.
Totally. Totes my goats. All right, let's talk about some rituals.
Yeah.
We're going to look at this through the lens of the seasons, because obviously that impacts outside the home. Some of these are not going to be relevant to you. That is fine. Take what works, leave the rest, and feel free to apply like some of these principles to other things that you do.
Yeah.
So we're going to start in this season. This season, as we're recording, end of September, it is cinnamon broom season, everyone.
Finally. Thank God.
Finally. Love a cinnamon broom. If you're not familiar, it is a broom that smells like cinnamon.
Right? It's a little self-explanatory.
Yeah. You can find it, at least around here, you can find it at any like home improvement store, anywhere where you could buy like stacks of hay bales. Home improvement stores, grocery stores around here have them. Sometimes like Marshall's, TJ Maxx, I've seen them in. Trader Joe's has the small ones. Is there anywhere else that I'm forgetting?
I don't think so.
Okay. But they're lovely. And you can keep them year after year. People ask me this all the time. You can refresh it with a little cinnamon oil. If you don't like the smell of cinnamon, you could get a regular fucking broom. That's it. Or like some of them I've seen are scented with other things. Like I've seen like lavender brooms.
Oh, fun.
There's another one that's like a really, really, really strong scent that whenever I walk into the grocery store, if they have them out, I like literally have to avoid the produce section because it just hurts my nose a lot. So you could go with that one if that doesn't hurt your nose.
If you're looking to repel mollies from your place of residence.
But these are great. There's a whole page in my book about cinnamon brooms because I just could not stop talking about them. I really was on my kick. So I really like them for protection, for abundance, for prosperity, and for like inviting in or cleansing out energy that you don't want in your home. And so because they're cinnamon's connected to luck, prosperity, abundance, but also protection. So you can place them inside your front door or outside. Like I put them on my front porch. You could put them above the door, next to the door. You could point them up. You could point them down. There's all sorts of lore behind like which direction to point them in. But I really love to include these in like a decorative, sort of front porch, spooky season kind of decor. And then I just leave the broom there all fucking year long because I love it. And so those are great. You could also, use them to sweep your front porch to bring in abundance. Like if you've ever seen the first of the month, there's always videos on TikTok, Instagram of people like blowing cinnamon into their home for prosperity. You can sweep your front porch or your front stoop, your front step with a cinnamon broom, have the same effect. So love that for kind of keeping the front porch clean, decorating it. Think of it kind of like a money bowl, right? Like when we have that cinnamon broom there with the intention of prosperity and luck and all these things, then we tend to keep our front porch cleaner. And so it might inspire you to sweep your front porch more or, clean it off or clean it with Florida water or draw a sigil underneath the front doormat, whatever the case may be, really creating that intentional boundary between your home and the space around you. You can also get the mini cinnamon brooms and keep them in your car for all the same things. So if you don't have like a front porch or a space that you could keep a cinnamon broom, I've kept them in my car. I've also kept them in my purse. Pro tip, if you get the one at Trader Joe's, it comes in a little baggie. You just cut a little slit in the baggie and then you don't have crumbs hanging around your purse, but you still have the smell. Not just a hat rack up here. I got ideas. I also think too, I love if you are someone who celebrates the Sabbats, using your front porch to create a display for the Sabbats can be really powerful, right? Like obviously we have jack-o'-lanterns for Samhain. You can bring in a Yule goat for Yule. We have our Sabbat series will be coming up next on the pod, so get ready for that. There may or may not be some video and may or may not be some other surprises coming to your Demystify Magic feed next week. Well, I don't know. Could be fun. Woo-hoo. But you can find those elements of kind of keeping your front porch in time with the seasons can be a really powerful way to keep that top of mind because obviously you're like walking through your front door every single day. So if there's like, say, a wreath for Mabon or whatever, you're going to remember your intention in that season as well. So I really love to use kind of that front porch, front stoop, front door, like whatever your entryway is for that.
Have you seen those women on TikTok who like do entire, like it's like a decorate their front stoop in such a way? I am obsessed with them.
Yes. I fear if I did that, I would just never take it down.
Oh,
and then it would look like shit. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that like it could not be me. I would love to be that kind of person.
Yeah.
It's like
you have a goose.
I do have a goose. Then that's as close as I'll get. My porch goose, that's as close as I'll get. We are so close. I have like 4 different Halloween costumes for her.
Do you have her charmed for protection?
Oh, you know it.
Love that.
You have to fill it with sand so it like stays, like because it just comes to. Well, I don't have a concrete one.
Okay.
Most people have concrete ones, or I don't want to say most people. The original porch goose is like a concrete Midwest thing.
Okay.
Now they sell them online in plastic because it's hard to ship concrete.
Yeah.
So you have to fill it with sand. So I filled it with 99% sand and then like 1% black salt.
Wait, I love that.
Right?
I love that. I was picturing you drawing protection runes on his little feet.
Oh, that's also a good idea. But it's like there's a hole where his feet are. Like that's where the sand goes. So there's like not a lot of real estate. So I was like, oh, I'll just fill you up with things that are good, you know?
That's genius.
Right?
See? Okay. Not just a hat rack over there, too.
Right?
All right.
We got ideas.
We got ideas. So if you have a porch goose, you can charm him for protection. I love that.
Since it's hurricane season, if I ever don't know what to put on my goose, I just put a little raincoat on him. I have a little raincoat and it has like a little hat that has an umbrella connected to it. It's really cute. Not to brag, but her name's Henrietta, if you were curious. And
I was.
That feels like a symbol of protection too. Like she's shielding us from the hurricanes.
She's ready.
She's ready.
I want a porch goose so bad. When you got one, I showed Justin and I was like, this is what I want for Christmas. He's like, I will not live here if we get a porch goose. And I was like, promise?
Why? Ew.
I know. He doesn't like the porch goose.
Well, he can kiss my ass.
Yeah, he doesn't like fun decorations. He's not a fun decoration kind of guy. But if I got one, he would be like, fine.
Well, I know what I'm getting you for Christmas.
Please, 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 if you get it for me, he can't say no to it.
And then I'll make the gift note. Justin, promise?
It's all in good fun. It's all in good fun. We love our partners.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your fall. Your winter. If you live in a place with snow, when you're salting your driveway, when you're salting your front porch, when you're salting your front walkway, salt for protection. You can sing the song. You can do it. You can sing the song. You can just hold that intention in your awareness. Since I started, singing salt for protection on the internet, and now it's like just an earworm that will never leave me, and I'm grateful for it. I actually have enjoyed like snow blowing my driveway.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I get to do the salt after. Mm-hmm. I get to do the salt.
The salt is coming. This is one that I have absolutely no input or feedback on because I've never done it.
That's okay.
And all the times I've lived in places with snow, it was somebody else's job, like the city, to do the salting. Because I lived in apartments.
Yeah.
I remember once, though, the first time I ever drove in snow, I must have told you about this when it happened. When I was living in St. Louis, I didn't have a car. I had sold my car because I was living in New York beforehand. So I moved from New York City to St. Louis. And I was driving my ex's car because I would take him to school. He was in a PhD program.
Oh.
Yeah, he was a fifth grader. No, Jesus.
No, I just meant like emotionally.
Well, we know how Molly feels about this. He's not a part of the story except for that I was driving his car.
Mm-hmm.
And I it started snowing very shortly after I moved there, I feel like. Or at least it felt that way. I hadn't driven his car very much. It was my first time ever driving in the snow, and I got stuck. It was like our parking garage had a garage door.
Mm.
And so I had to, like, the driveway going into it had iced over in a weird way, and I had to like perfectly time my slide into the fucking parking garage.
Oh my God.
I got stuck. I was sobbing. I must have voice noted you about it at the time. I would love to go back and find it. I was terrified, and I had to like get out. It was so bad. It was so bad. And he, of course, like, there was nobody to help me. I didn't know anyone. I had just moved there for his program. And so I was like, you're on your own, kid. Like, you got to just figure it out. And I don't remember what I did, but I do remember the fear.
I have no memory of this. This may have been BM before Molly.
No, it wasn't, because I met you. Maybe it was BM. Did I meet you when I was living in St. Louis? I must have, yeah, because that's when I made that video.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's so weird.
I know. See, the one thing about this story is it would have gone so much better had you known me.
Yeah, so I didn't even have you. Imagine me with no one. No one who knew what to do. Because all my friends, all my friends lived in Florida or New York, so they weren't driving.
No.
And it was just me in Missouri.
In misery.
In misery. It was so bad. It must have been like in the weeks before I met you.
Yeah, it must have been. The universe was like, all right, enough. Let's give her a Molly.
Please give her something. Give her somebody knows what the fuck they're doing when it comes to the snow. She needs help. So bad.
Anyways, we're not going to, there's a whole section in the book about snow and snow removal and things like that. But on your end, mowing the lawn can be a protection ritual. Mm-hmm. So thinking about, I don't know, do people do this in Florida? In Maine, like they're really intense about it, but they mow like lines in a specific pattern.
In some neighborhoods, yes, not where I live.
Okay.
I don't live somewhere nice enough for that. But also, like here, there's, at least for me, the attachment to the lawn for most of the people that I know is not there because the grass dies in the winter. Like, so, because we don't get rain. So it's just like dead sad lawn.
Oh, dead sad lawn. Okay, well, in the times that you do mow the lawn, whenever that is, for us it's summer.
Well, for me it's never. That's somebody else's job in my house.
Yeah, fair. But think about like each pass of the lawn as like clearing away energy that's not serving you and instilling that protection.
When I watch Drew mow the lawn, I'll be thinking of that.
Put a sigil on the lawnmower.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm doing my part.
There you go. And then gardening is my other like favorite section of this book. I just felt like gardening was originally going to be like one paragraph and then it became like a whole section because one of my favorite mindfulness teachers is Thich Nhat Hanh, who I know I've talked about on this fucking podcast before. But he has a practice that he calls planting seeds, which is basically like, are you filing your toenails right now?
I had a hangnail. I had to fix it.
This is why we can't do a video podcast all the time.
I'm hanging on to it. I'm hanging on to the audio only format for the little time I have left with it, I feel. You know?
Oh, we're leaving that in. I just want you to know.
Good.
You only get one veto per episode and you already used yours.
That is true, I did.
Anyways, planting seeds. So Thich Nhat Hanh talks about how each thought is an opportunity to plant a seed in your mind. And so whenever we're thinking, it's like, okay, are we watering seeds of peace and joy and friendliness, or are we watering seeds of anger and, worry and whatever? And then ultimately like growing a garden in your mind. And so that has been a metaphor that has stuck with me for the last decade. And so I really tried to bring that practice into every element of gardening and really turn it into a mindfulness practice. And so, fertilizing the seeds that you are literally tangibly planting with affirmations of what you want to grow in your mind and in your life, really. And then each time you tend to that seed, reinstilling that intention in your mind, and then watching the seed grow as that like new pathway in your brain grows really became just like this beautiful, beautiful practice for me this year. None of my plants did well, but I feel much better.
And that's what's important.
That's what's important, right? Like I think sometimes when we tie manifestation with like physical planting, there's often this like fear that like, oh, my tomatoes didn't grow, which means I fucked it up, which means my manifestation's not going to grow. And I love this practice because it's like, no, like I feel so much better. And like, no, I don't have the tomatoes. And you know what? That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
The tomatoes are the friends we made along the way.
I was so focused on growing the tomatoes of joy in my mind that I forgot to water them once or twice, and we had a drought up here. So let's do some full moon, new moon, seasonal. Reminder, don't be overwhelmed by these. You can always start with the clutter crushing charm. And these are just ideas of how you can tie these things in. So full moon, washing your car.
This is something that I wish I was better about. I am so
Same.
bad about going through the car wash. Drew has like a membership at a little drive-through place nearby.
Of course he does.
He
seems like the type that would have a very clean, like meticulously clean car.
So he used to work a sales job for like a bathroom renovation company.
So random.
I know, but he had like this, he covered this area that was like basically a 3-hour radius. And so he was
My
driving
God.
all day, every day. This was years ago, before I knew him.
Mm-hmm.
And so he said that he got in the habit because he didn't ever want to like drive up to people's houses with like a dirty car. But also he was in it all the time. So he like got very meticulous about keeping it clean because he would have to like basically live in it during the day. You know, he couldn't go home. He was always like eating in his car, hanging out in his car. Like if he had time to kill, you just had to sit there, you know, whatever. And so he's like had this habit, and I'm like, of course. And then meanwhile, there's me. I think I've been through a car wash 5 times in my whole life.
Yeah, I go once a year to get the salt off my car.
Good idea.
That's about it.
No salt for protection on the car.
Well, it eats away
salt
at your
for
car.
erosion.
There's enough salt inside the car from my muddy ass boots to protect me, but salt for erosion.
Not just a hat rack up here. I got jokes.
I also had a job where I had to drive like a 3-hour radius all day, every day, and lived in my car. And I had the exact opposite experience. My car became like a trash hole.
Yeah. I feel like it does go one of 2 ways, I would imagine.
Yeah. And so I don't drive the thing about my car is I do not drive very much now. Mm-hmm. And yet my car is a fucking disaster.
Same.
How? Why? I don't understand. How is there so much trash in it? I don't go anywhere.
I don't know.
I don't go anywhere.
I don't know.
I don't understand it. And so full moon, clean out the car, wash the car. I will say when I do this regularly, like when I do a full clean of my car, it does stay clean for like at least 6 weeks.
Really?
So if I were as good about cleaning my car as I was about cleaning my shower curtain liner, I think we'd be cooking really with gas.
Yeah, you'd be great. If you did it every full moon, you'd be getting ahead.
Yeah. I've been doing it seasonally because my equinox and solstice ritual is to get your oil changed. Mm-hmm. And so I have enough points with the car dealership that I get a free detail. And so I've been having them detail it when I bring it in for an oil change.
Incredible.
And that has been life-changing.
Oh, yeah.
Genuinely life-changing. I'm very overdue for an oil change because one thing about me, I put that off. Until my car is like, hey, I'm going to maybe explode.
Mm-hmm. So what do you have for the new moon?
New moon, this also involves leaving your house. Make that doctor's appointment.
No.
Or the dentist appointment.
No.
Or the car appointment. Whatever appointment you've been avoiding that involves you leaving your house, making the Amazon returns. That's my favorite new moon ritual because it's an instant manifestation. Mm-hmm. Because you have the stuff. I don't know about you, but when I have returns, I just let them pile up. And then I have like so much shit to return. And then I want to avoid it. But do it on the new moon. Set your manifestation for abundance or prosperity. Do your returns and then get yourself a little treat. And it's basically free because you manifested all that money.
Love. Incredible.
So do the returns, make the doctor's appointment. Like whatever you've been avoiding that involves leaving your house, do that. Send the mail, check your P.O. box, refill your prescriptions, like whatever that thing that you put off that you need to make a phone call or leave your house for, do that. Those great new moon because it's going to create some momentum. And we know that momentum and action is what brings manifestations to us faster.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
Yeah.
I was so bad about this until I moved to St. Pete and I became a part of like a very insular community. And so now like Anthony's husband is the person who cleans my teeth. Like he's a dental hygienist. So I go to the dentist office that he works at.
Yeah.
And I just like, Jared tells me when I'm going to the dentist, and then like Anthony and I have the same doctor, and it's because Anthony knows him and he's like in the same gay softball league, or not softball, you're in softball league. There's just like a gay sports league that rotates sports in St. Pete. And so he, I think, knows him through that or knows him through something else. I don't know, but it's like a friend of Anthony's. So then he's like kind of a friend of mine. So he's my doctor. So I no longer feel stressed like calling to make an appointment at the doctor because I get to be like, oh my God, hi, how are you?
Yeah.
And it makes it so much easier. So my only advice for making appointments easier is to befriend the people who do those jobs.
Yeah, genuinely. I will say, on the topic of making returns, I've been actively, we talked about this before, but actively trying to move my spending off of Amazon this year. And I've had so much fewer returns to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, genuinely, I'm like, if I want something, I look it up on Amazon for like a price check, and then I actively try to find it somewhere else. And then it's like, I gotta enter my card information. I really gotta want it to order it. And so I have been making so many less like frivolous purchases. So I have so much less to return.
I love that.
So that's my life hack. Fuck Amazon, and you'll have less returns to do.
Truly, honestly.
Genuinely. I literally, like, I had to order new harnesses for the boys, and I didn't measure them because I was like, I know how big my boys are. No, the harnesses were way too big, but I bought them from Chewy. And so I emailed their customer service and I was like, hey, I need to return these. They don't fit. And they're like, okay, we just refunded you. Go ahead and donate them to an animal shelter. And I was like, Chewy, I love you. And so it was like a super manifestation ritual. So that was my equivalent. So
I love that.
Fuck Amazon, buy from Chewy.
Yeah. Chewy, if you would like to sponsor this podcast,
we once again humbly ask.
We would love nothing more. We love you. Anyways, I think we did it.
I think we did it. Make sure you're subscribed to the podcast if you're not already, because next week we have a super surprise for you. We are starting our Sabbath series, which if you've been here for any number of episodes, you know we flew all the way to Chicago to record this for you in person, in video format. And so you will still be able to listen audio if that's your jam. But if you've been craving a video podcast, we got one for you. We also will be unveiling a special surprise. And since you've waited to the end, you get to hear it. We are rebranding the podcast. And by that, I mean that photo that you've been staring at, our little cover art that we put together on Canva with photos that we did not take in the same place at the same time. Yeah, we're upgrading that.
Can you believe it only took us 2.5 years?
3 years, bestie. We made that in 2022 before we launched the podcast.
You're right. It has been 3 years since we took that photo. I look at that and I go, who are those girls?
Who are they?
I don't know them.
My favorite part is when people who find us through the podcast then find me on Instagram and they're like, you sound just like the girl from Demystify Magic.
But
you look nothing like her.
Is when I am at the store and people come in who listen and are like looking for me, and we make eye contact and they do a double take and they go, are you? I go, yeah. I remember I took that photo at my friend Bridget, friend of the pod, who, you know, we know her. She's the one who has the Google Calendar with everybody's important life events. I was at her house. I had not told anyone in my life that we were doing a podcast. I was so afraid to say anything to anybody. I woke up before they woke up, got ready, and like went to the best window in their house because it was like the last day. You were like, Madison, we need a photo. Like you need to send me a photo today. We have to do this. And so I woke up and I took a selfie in their house and never told them.
Mine is a still from a YouTube video from 2021 where I'm actively talking. And why are my hands out like that? I don't know. But at my house, we call that my podcast pose. And so every once in a while, Justin will just flare his hands out like that and just be like, I'm podcasting. I'm holding a glass off the screen. You can't see.
We've like strategically placed my face on top of your face to hide the glass. It's you know what? I have a lot of love and respect for those girls and their tenacity.
Yeah.
You know?
So this all came about because I went to a conference. I went to the Creator Expo and I sat in on a talk that was like how to be the top 1% podcast in your industry. And I was like, I'm so excited to learn. And then I was like, wait, I texted Madison and I was like, fuck, I just realized we are a top 1% podcast. And so I fully expected not to learn anything. And I literally 10 minutes in, I texted Madison and I was like, how the fuck is our podcast popular? Because
why the fuck does anyone listen to us?
We have no keywords in our title. We have a shitty cover photo, and our description says, I don't even know what it says because we wrote it so long ago. So anyways, we're refreshing the podcast to really exemplify who we are today and where we are today. And so you're going to hear new intro, new outro. You're going to see some new art. You're going to just like put a little magic on it. I don't know. It could be fun.
I'm very excited about it.
Me too. I love the photo that we chose. It's very us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it will come to absolutely no surprise that we planned a very glamorous photo shoot, took a bunch of really beautiful photos, and then the one we chose was from breakfast the morning before. So I'm excited about it.
Love that for us.
And we will see you next week.
Okay. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Demystify Magic with Molly and Madison. If you want to learn more about us, you can find all our links in the show notes.
We'd love to know what you think of today's episode, so drop us a review or give us a shout out on social media. And don't forget to let us know your magical moment of the week. Okay, love you. Bye.
The family that vacations together stays together. At least, that was the plan. Except now, the dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for the stay.